Yeah. Hi, Suzuki Tech. Oh, welcome back. Okay, we're back to work. So, I say we have 3 parts of multiples drills to do. I've saved the 3 at the end because they're the same as Kanchotokus as well, okay? So I'm going to save those. They're not very difficult. In fact, they're very, very simplistic. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to teach you now part 2 to the part 1 drill that I've taught you to give you a completely new perspective of how these all work. Okay, team up, grab yourself a partner. Oh, maybe we can get one more. Everybody, who doesn't have a partner? Yeah.
Here we go. We need your body.
We need your body. Okay, so this is all going to be hands-on from grappling and manipulative positions, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is the first act of violence is an over-the-arm front bear hug, okay? Over-the-arm front bear hug. Okay, introduce yourself if you guys don't know each other. Ready? Okay, so James, I'm going to talk you through it, okay? So, front bear hug, over the arms. So you remember there's under the arms, there's over the arms, and front back. This is an over the arm front bear hug. Now, do what you do in a front bear hug. Go, grab them, pick them up. There. So that's a front bear hug, okay, good. And your hands in that position are absolutely perfect, okay? Right. But in this case, and because most people are right-handed, the second he does that, the left hand comes here, the right hand goes there. And okay, relax. You don't have to like that too much, okay? It's like I said, I do this, I get a gag reflex. I do that, he's looking for spare change on the ground, okay? Those are predetermined responses from pain withdrawal reflex. I gotta tell you, you go like this to most guys, you're gonna get the hand grab down on top of it. Now, because he's got the other hand here, he's over my arms and I'm here. It's the body said it's very hard for him to get his hand in between. So it's going to be that hand grabs me. And when that hand grabs, you don't let go. You let him worry about that. And then you take this and you go tap with the head and you slide your hand up the middle. You hikite, don't let go. You hikite from here and you bang. And the age uke goes into the throat from here. So when you do that, you're going to then start pushing the hand down. I want you to concave your hand this way to the back of the head, and you're going to step through, and you're going to, as you bring him this way, you're going to merely throw your punch that way from there. So turn. So your punch, grab a hand. Your punch is coming against his grip. I'm pressing down, hikitain from here. Later you're going to see we're going to grab the hair. And all you do is you punch, and it's impossible for him to hold on to it, and finally it breaks through. And then from here, I go, oh, geez, sorry. Hang on, I'm just checking my, yep, the green light's still on. Sorry. Here, and you're going to reach down this into the cross-arm uregurami, okay? Let's go. Age uke. From a front bear hug. His English is not so good. His English is perfect.
I don't speak English.
He doesn't speak English. So, yeah. You're going to love this. I'll grab it. All from Bubishi. Bubishi, Miyagi Chosen's favorite book. Then, in January, now can I just want to say this. Look. I know it's not the thing, hey, what are you doing? I'm just going to spend the afternoon grabbing my friend's testicles. Okay. We're not suggesting you're going to grab a guy's testicle, but I am suggesting that, I told you a story about playing. Get the hand in there and make that flinch. Make that flinch happen. And grab onto that arm. I'm going to teach you a word. You probably, have you heard the term cross-extender reflex before? No? Okay. Let me explain to you in practical terms. I'm at the beach. I have my shoes off on bare feet. I'm walking along, and I step on a piece of glass, broken glass, that's under the sand. Do I go, oh, yeah, it fucking feels good, let me just dig it in, or do you go, ah, white crane? Right? You jump back. That, yeah, you know, like, oh my God, what happened? That pain was our reflex. When my mind is set in a certain direction, and it's particularly old school bully mentality, you know, it's just like, who the fuck do you think you are? And you know, and I grab you like this, and I've done that so many times. I'm a bully. My mind says I'm just going to hurt you, and nobody's ever been able to defeat me doing it. So I grab you by the throat or grab you by the thing. Even though you might come in and smash me in the face, I might block that. I don't let go of the hand for some reason. The mentality of keeping the hand there for control, I can hit the face 3 times before I realize, oh, I should let that hand go. And nowhere is this more evident than in seizing or grappling. You go to grab this guy by the testicles, the instinctive reaction is for the guy to grab your hand. And even when you pull your hand away, he doesn't want to let go for control. What that means is you're going to have at least 3-4 seconds here. Now that's not a lot of time. You're not going to write a book in that period of time, but that's enough time to slam that up on top of the body from here and punch through the trap of the person's hand. And by the time that happens, you can bet your boots that this guy says, oops, there's a bee in my bonnet, time to get the hell out of here. And that's where you react. So remember, in Japanese we say hyoshi, timing, the rhythm with which to get this domino or this cascade effect happening. So you go to the bear hug. Before he starts to lift you up, you palm, grab. And then when that happens, hikite, hit. Hikite and hit. And at the same time, you lean as you come forward, lean down on him to punch through. And then lock. We good? Okay, let's go. Hey, Sasha Karmokai. Okay, you missed it.
I missed it?
Well, here, you're doing this, you're going like that, and you're punching like this. Stop! Stop! Well, ultimate power travels forward in a straight line. Why would you want to reinvent it? Perfect. Remember, guys, hi, Dole. Remember things. James, please. Now, this arm, try to come over and grab my hand with that arm. Go. Okay. Grab, I got you, but grab. So take that hand, try to escape from here. There you go. He can't do it. I got this here. That's my thing. So I said, you go like this all at once, and I've got a hold in there, so I'm not letting go. So I go like this. I go tap, and as I pull this back, I slam this up, and I do this. There's a difference between going like that and doing this, you see? And that's what I'm doing. And I'm doing it like this. See, for every action, there's an opposite reaction, equal in force, opposite direction. Boom. And that's what I do. So if you grab here, oh, here's one more thing. So some of these techniques are very old. And I learned this from studying the Bubishi. And in the Bubishi, I always wondered, why do all the guys have got this hair, they have no hair, but these long ponytails, those pigtails. Men only wore their hair in one of 2 fashions through the Qing and the Ming period. Ming-Qing period, sorry. And they were these long ponytails. Or they were priests, no hair. Or they were Mongolians, it was another story altogether. But in China, so grabbing the hair, or like grabbing the beard, was a very, very common act of physical violence. The problem is nobody does that anymore today. very few people have such long beards or have such long hair. And so therefore, I don't mean to say it's an obsolete technique, but it's like this technique here, for example. This was called turning over the hourglass. That's how you told time in those days. No Rolex, just turn the hourglass over. And this is called Emperor Step Seal. So there's a technique against a grab where you go like this. You grab the beard, you grab the hair, the top knot, and you turn them over. And there you go, you smash. I'm not saying that's obsolete, I'm just saying it's not so common anymore. Yes, you can palm it and pull it, that's one thing, but it's still not the same as the original. Okay, so if he had that, and I could grab the hair, you see? And I could push that through here while I'm pulling the hair back like this. But we're not, so we're making the compromise to do it this way. And then right away it goes 1, 2, 3. Hey. Now, oh, sorry, my microphone. Okay, sorry. So, these exercises, all I told you, this is part 2 of a larger whole. There's another third part to it. But part 2, which I'm teaching right now, also has its individual breakdown. I'm not going to do that today because it's going to be too much. But you'd love it because it has so many wonderful takedowns, by the way, and follow-ups. So if it was just, and I was doing Udigram, I would then knee him and then sprawl and take him to the ground. But we're not going to take him to the ground today. So think about this. I've got him blocked. Oh, sorry, my microphone again, sorry. So now I'm not putting any pressure on James at all, so he's not in any pain at all. He could do he can grab my leg, he could hook his leg with my other leg, and there's a lot of things he can do. But when I have him up in pain, it's a different story, okay? I have a threshold pain, I verbally control him. So where do you think his only escape could be? I'm cranking him this way, where can he go? Right through the house. So he takes this hand and goes that way there, Jim, right through. Go good. And look what's happening to, stop. Look what's happening to my arm as he escapes. All of a sudden now he's turned that into a category 2 lever, and all of a sudden I am in desperate hand. Sorry, freeze. This, by the way, this is going to be forcibly broken just by him twisting. And as he does that, he's going to grab my wrist and come around and slap me in the face. And I'm going to just, as he tries to pull me back, I'm going to protect myself here, and I'm going to slap the face, shikite, and bang down on the brachioradialis from here as I pull my hand back out of the way like this. Got it? Watch it again. Relax. Come on. And as he turns around, I either have to let go or get my wrist broken. So as I let go, he wants to grab and control me. So I'm not in pain just yet, but he wants to pull me as he slaps me or strikes me. So I have to protect my face. As I protect my face, I step back and impact and get him by. And as I get him by, I want to grab his hand, and I want to turn it over again this way from here as I step in to punch him. Okay? In Spanish, I say one more time. Español no mucho. Okay. Hey. So he goes. One. I'm trying to resist, but I'm feeling the pain. So he takes the hand, grabs me. I protect myself first. If I don't have anything to follow. I impact him from that, slam down on the arm. I don't need a release, by the way. I don't need it to go like this. I only need to, and I want to hit right there, the brachioradialis. I don't want to hit here. I don't want to hit the bicep. I want to hit the pressure point right there. I want to do this. And as I do that, I want to sandwich it, slide it around this way from here so that I can impact him. Yeah. We're good? All right. That's number 2. Right, お願いします。まず最初に上げ受け、そしたら下段から大丈夫です。ゆっくりだんだん良くなるんです。ベアハグからですけどもどうぞ。
There you go.
Got that? Okay, you grab here. Okay, good. Now, so as you headbutt him, or okay, no. Okay, you can shoulder pump, but you can also bite his back. There are backbiters in karate. If you didn't know that, yes, they're back. You can bite into the back like a hungry pit bull on the side of an empty meat wagon, and that you'll get the. Thank you very much. Thank you. You can have the sentences as well. Okay, I've rehearsed these many times, and when he flinches away from that. That's when you hikite and slam him. So you don't, but you see, you don't want to have him release. You want it there, and what you need to do is you need to position yourself so you can punch. So you need to do that. You need to be there, so you can punch. Watch in a straight line that way. That's what you need to have a straight line, and that's when this comes, and then that's what I can. So once again, it's just a matter of repetition, and the more comfortable you feel with it, you know. And by the way, that's no different. That's all you're doing, and that becomes that's from Kanku. Yes, and let me see the escape as well. Go one more time. Good, that's it. Yeah. Oh, I didn't like that. You did it, but I didn't like it. Go, keep carrying. Go. Okay, but you forgot the low block, okay? You forgot. The structure of this is high block, low block, uchi, soto, kake, shito. That's the 6 features that we're going to focus on here. I'll show you later where all the ure and everything else comes from, okay? But that's the 6 structures. So once again, yeah. So I've done this. That was my sorry. So my apologies. There you go. So I got to here, and that's where this comes. Just bang, and as I want to step out on the side this way and create this. Now that can be this. It doesn't have to be this, and it certainly doesn't have to be that. We don't really care about that. But the actions is the same. If I wasn't there and I just did that move myself, you say, oh, that's an ageuke. But I may be tapping him with the elbow first. I may not be doing that. I may be coming the other side, press, take away. It's still that, you see? So the structure here. So ageuke. And then when I do this here, now as you just go really slow and start winding up for the punch right now. Just wind up and start swinging now. Go. See, that's another reason why I got to let go. He's forcing me to let go, but if I don't let go, here's what's going to wind up. Oh, I'm going to get hit. I have no choice. I got the pain as a motivational, but when I see that big mama's coming from Chicago, I go, here, wow. And then here, grab. You get into the habit of controlling. We're trying to control. Bang, yeah, bang. And now watch how I sandwich it. Come on. How I sandwich. I go, actually grabbing, I can't get out. Hit it, bend it down, I go like this. And I do this, watch. See? And now my hikite goes like this, see? I have control of him through the hikite. And I'm going to now go like this. By the way, I don't want him down there. I want him here, so I can either hit him this way, but in this case, I want to hit him this way. Kind of high, yeah. Well, what I want to do is I want to tap the chin to get the brainstem twist. And I want to go like this. What he's going to do is he's going to move his head out of the way and grab my hand. Now he's going to get his shoulder on the other side of that from here to do this. Come around this way, freeze. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I got to take one step forward and I'm going to dig my don't let go. I'm going to dig my elbow down into his chest. Come around more. And I'm going to let go and step. No, where are you going? I haven't done anything yet. And I'm going to go like this. Better even still, especially if you follow the aragaki seisho. mukashi no yume karate sensei desu kedomo, Sochin. That was advertised in March of 1867 at Ocha Yagoten, no, Embu. They called it, remember there was Chi Cao Chin, which is, we know as now as Shishoshin. There was his pressure points, and there was Seisan, the one I made up, by the way. Because it never existed when Aragaki himself did it. I was a fabricator kata. And there was and Sochin works this way. Nice exercises, but once again, and by the way, this afternoon, one of the 3 other drills we're going to do is one like this, where just hold on, put it up behind my back and choke me from behind. And I'm going to go like this. I'm going to take this hand this way. Hey! And I'm going to slide out the door that way and do this. He's a Catholic. So that's one of the things that Kian and multiple both have in common, and we also see it in the Bubishi as well. The other one is the rear bear hug, by the way. We're going to escape from that the same way that we're escaping from this. That's a bit later. Okay, so front bear hug. Got the grab, pull out, or fight, whatever you want to do, impact, do the punch, grab, he escapes out, the hand's already coming, I don't have a choice, I block it, impact, grab it, grab. Get in the habit of, you're hitting me with this hand. No, you're grabbing that. No, it doesn't matter. You've grabbed like most attackers, you've attacked me wrong. Who's that?
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, my favorite man. And the woman has a butcher knife in her. I got a knife. So I'm here, I hear her. He spins out. I let it go. Come on over here. I protect myself. There you go. I slam, impact. Don't try to mess with, don't let me move your hand. Don't go to like this. Do this, like, just like that. No. Just go like 2. Just go with 2 hands. Very simple. Once you get 2 hands, it's very simple. And then I don't even have to break it. I just pull a hand out. And then from here, I can, excuse me. So it doesn't need much power for that one, but I tap this way. So you see the punch coming, turn your head out of the way, put your hand up to block it. He grabs it. Yeah, so I let go and step around, so I'm in the front. Boom, I make the punch from here. That's where that shot's gonna be. Then, okay, not then. Let's go there first. Aishimasu. じゃあこれがボーナスポイントあるんですけれども、まず最初に技でしょ。そしたら特別の英会話のあだ名がたくさんありますですけれども。Let me go back to that one just for a second. Hold it there. I'll get a shot of it. That's a good shot. Good. And now, dig the elbow in. Yeah. And spin right around. You got to spin around so you're facing him. Because you don't want him to think that he has to let go. Yeah. You want him to keep on to it. You just bring it up into inside middle block. So step across. Good. But don't. You broke away too far. You don't want to be far away from him. You want to be really close to him. There you go. You're here. Let go. I got him here. Here, he's driving. So, I'll take this off first. So, I want to use, sorry, let go. That's okay. Yes. So what I want to do is I want to dig this elbow down into here. As I step 1, 2, I turn like this. And then as I'm applying pressure down, and he tries to escape with that hand, I go, impact. And then I'm going to grab the hand, and I'm going to go cross body block. Soto uke. And then I'm going to slide the puppy around, come back, and Tetsuyuchi. But it's all within the structure we've already done. These are all the things we've already done. We're just looking at them from a completely different perspective. You guys were meant to practice together. You know that, right? Next technique, sir. So we were here, right? And we went like this. He grabbed my hand, tried to break my elbow. I stepped in front. I created a new fulcrum from here to upgrade my energy to here. And see won't let go. So I tap him from here. And as I tap him from here, he concaves. I want to grab the hand from here, turn the fist this way, and bring this time my hammer fist now is not a punch. Now my hammer fist now becomes a press, you see? Now, from the press, I now do this. I change to a kake, and I change to a kake to pull, to a hikite, and as I pull, I step in and I do my soto uke. So in English, soto means outside, right? And that's perspective from the out to the in or the in to the out. I like to call them cross body blocks because they shouldn't come to here, they should come across the body. And if they come across the body with hikite, look what happens to his body, you see, from here. So I want to come from here, I'm going to bend it around from here, and if I have to uppercut it, I got that, I got the impact from here. Then I grab, microphone back on, spot check. Okay. I bring him down. As soon as I break the balance, that's enough for me, is I come across, I change to the tricep tendon, slide grab, cross body, and now watch this. This is going to be a little bit unusual unless you're familiar with, say, Basai and stuff like that, or sliding this. This is going to be an augmented move, and I'm going to come from here, and I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to go down, James, over here on the other side. And I'm going to do this. See how I keep my hand, my mefutote together from here? And then I do this. I cup that in, I cup it into here as I bring it in here for my hammer fist again. And this can be pulled down into a hikite from here. And as soon as I make the impact, I go to the guillotine. So, we went from here. So I need to step, I need to get my body out of the way. I need to create a vacuum there. Then I dig in, pivot around, make the strike, capture the hand, turn it to the Tetsuyuchi, and bring him down. Now, that's in control. Now, just as a matter of interest, I'm going to bring you all the way down, James. As I bring him down, stop. I'm going to kick him in the face. I'm going to step over the body. I'm going to wrap around. I'm going to do all these follow-up techniques, which you're going to love. They're absolutely great techniques, but not in this rendition, okay? Because we're doing them all together, not individually, okay? I'll make sure you get the copy of them, though. I love these. And this is Kihon Waza Karate. Jodan, Geidan, Age. Here, impact, great. Move it around, sorry, my apologies. Soto uke, move it around, trap it, hikite, and impact. That's right. Make sure you block that. Bang from here. And then you come into the guillotine from here. Okay? Hey, nice. Okay, let's go. How's that working? We haven't done this one before, have we? Or have we got that far in it before? Oh, okay. See, but my thing is this, is if you made use of templates that were part and parcel of the dojo curriculum, students have to, at one point or another, traverse through this. They get their manual for it, and you make sure they're doing it every which way from Sunday. And they get, you remember the first level, remember the punch? This one? Yeah. So we do that first level. We do the second one, which we taught yesterday, and we do the third one as the third one today. And then we break it down into its individuals. So you get 4 parts out of a single drill. And then you get them to do it in. And then by putting them all together, that's what I call taisabaki. Taisabaki Jodan, Geidan, Chudan Daichi, Chudan Daini. Where are we? Geidan. No, Jodan, Geidan, Uchi, Soto. Kake and Shuto. And with the individual takedowns, it's great. It's a whole little set all on its own. And it just surrounds 6 blocks. So, anyway, what's the rest of it? So you do is I change it to a seize for hikite, right? And as I pull him back to make my fulcrum here, I go, so I get that action, right? And then as he's still traversing this way, I then wrap it around from here. Remember this? That's my here. Okay. I wrap it around from here, and then I bring it up to trap it into my body. And as I pull him into me, I slam into him from here, and then I go into the guillotine from here. Yeah. Okay.
And instead of stepping in, think about stepping back.
Okay, so we're here. So I'm like this, and I'm like this. Now, I'm gonna crank. I got his arm here. He can't. That's helpless. I put a wedge here against the scapula so he can't use it. I go down. I try to get him in the guillotine. He turns his face into my side and bites me. I back away, flinch as you would. He grabs my hand. He pulls his head out. And he comes to, again, slap my face. Or headbutt me, his choice. And as he does, I stop it, I slap, and I'm going to go like this. Watch me. Kakeuke. 均等の大体同じですけれども、掛け、引き手、小手打ち。Okay? So, where were we? Where do I want to go from? Here, guillotine. Right away, he grabbed the hand. Yeah, I grabbed the hand for control. Bite. I flinch as I come out. I got to take care of this. So I can take care of this. Headbutt, slam, spear hand. There's lots of things you can do, okay? But I do this. I go 1, 2, hit, slide. All you need to remember for the time being is you're here, you can't have the fulcrum far away. It's got to be tight. Up, slide, and you cannot do this. It's not going to work. You can't do this and expect you're going to pull it. It needs to grab tight. It needs to be, you need to ride it with 2 hands. Squeeze, grab. Hikite, push behind the elbow, this way from here. Yep. Need to see it again?
Yes, please.
No. Okay. And so guillotine, 2 things. He wants to control my hand, so he grabs the wrist tightly, and he bites. Out! Bite causes the flinch. He pulls out the hand. Now, remember, I already got my hand here, so I already have my hand in place, so to speak. So that the slap comes, I do koken from here. Slap. I chop it up like this, and I ride it around. I like the jokes as well. I pull up, and I slam it down like this. Now, once again, I could take the guy all the way down to the ground, and with this really cool follow-up, what are we doing tomorrow, by the way?
Relaxing.
Oh.
Recovering.
Oh, we go. Okay. So, bang, and you take it down here. And after this, we have one more technique we're going to do, which is the Shuto Uchiyuki and the tiger's mouth technique, okay? We're good? Hey, guillotine, grab, out, roll it, shote uchi.
Right.
Hey, how strong is he, eh? He's a machine, man.
Eugene?
No.
James?
No, Masa.
Yeah.
You ever feel how strong he is? He's a beast, man. He's a beast.
His t-shirt off.
Yeah, he's ripped. Yeah, he's ripped.
You see him with the Yamani Rouge?
Well, he's a blue-collar worker, man. He lifts shit. He's really strong. It's the throat. My throat's right here. Oh, like that. So this is called chisao. It's called sticky hands. And this is the best. And in Japanese, Okinawan version, we use the term muchimidi. Muchi is a kind of a rice cake here. On the mainland, you guys call it mochi. Very, very sticky and adhesive. So the metaphor, it's about the sticky hand. And the idea, it's about staying close. Don't let go. Heavy hands, And that's what the Chinese use that chisao. And chisao is not just indicative of Wing Chun. You see white eyebrow, dragon boxing, choli fat. They all have their own versions of how to use this. But why Wing Chun became popular was because of Bruce Lee. And Bruce Lee was arguably a student of Yip Man's. Of course, when he became famous, of course he's not just my student, where's my best friend? You know, of course. Yeah. Now, had he not been famous, yeah, Bruce who? I fucking don't know. Nice. Yes, tap. Yes. No. But remember, focus the 6 techniques. So somebody then says, well, that's not karate. Did you ever practice Aikido? Yeah. There you go. No. Hammer fist. So it comes, yes, yeah. Boom. And now grab. Now grab his hand. That's it. Get up. Good. Yeah. Yes. Now go back to the guillotine for a moment. Now there's another way out of this. So what I want you to do this way is grab the hand as you normally do, and bite into him as you normally do. And when he flinches, go through the hole. And now turn around and try to hit him as you do. Get out here to hit it. Come on, spin. I can tell you guys are trying to grab, man. Grabbing is controlling. You gotta. I'm so used to people grabbing now that if they don't grab, it's easier to pop them. You know, but I mean, so try it that way as well. Yeah. Ah. No, you got to still get underneath. You got to stop it dead.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Boom. If you're that close, look. If you're that close, grab. If you're that close, I want to do this, and then I want to do this. Look, with the elbow, and then ride him, and then here. James. Remember this? Watch. This, well, is it? This is the nucleus of a kata called Ryushan. I only know one style of practices outside of what we do from Hanshin Shomen was Chitose Tsuyoshi in Chitoryu, which is not represented here. And they do Ryushan. And isn't it interesting, if you go to Fujian, there's a really famous white crane form that does this. They jump all over the place. But the movement is this, see? And which is supposed to be the dragon. The dragon, Ryubi, the dragon's tail. So I got him from here, He sneaks out and he goes around, and I gotta go like this, see? The technique is called lady looks in the mirror, by the way. Old lady looks in the mirror. And I go here and I go bang, slide underneath, roll it, shove him from here. Do that a couple times and I'll show them what the variation is for this. So you're grading your yellow belts now, and you say Soto Uki, and one goes, what do you say to that person? That's not Soto Uki. You would say, that's Soto Uki. So make it look like Soto Uki. And the reason being is, look, I don't need, can I borrow your arm for a minute? Is Soto Uke done properly, watch, is I hikite for watch. Look at that. Isn't that interesting? Now, relax, tighten your arm a little. If his arm was a little bit flaccid, boom, because I tapped him and I went, the arm dislocates. Because what happens is when you tap him, he becomes flaccid for a moment, and in the moment he can dislocate the arm. But if he's completely tight, it's not going to work. It'll hurt him. But it's a thing, bang, and that's where you get that kosho hino and that fudging explosion, bang, to make. So when you press like this, it becomes strength. When you do it this way, it becomes technique. So I just want to show you a variation on the theme, okay, here. You guys go ahead and take it from the guillotine. So just watch, freeze. I want you to watch now, this is, we call it the deguchi, the exit here, is instead of turning in, he's going to come through and turn. Look familiar? We did that earlier about the escape. So that's all this is instead of fighting against the contraction, he escapes out through the middle of it. And you're perfectly welcome to do this. In fact, by the time you do I'm going to give you a link to two of my students doing it. Frank Barca, who became the 10th planet representative for Eddie Bravo in Australia, and Johnny the Rocket Kennedy, who was the Oceania flyweight kickboxing champion, K1 champion. These two guys go at each other doing this drill. You got to watch them on YouTube. It's like there's a brawl, and you're like, my God. But it's pretty impressive. And he does the escape. So let me see it one more time. Yeah. No, James, not on the top. It's this, James. Yep. Nope. Underneath. Yeah. Hey. There you go. It's the brain. It's the brain going to be, pasta. And that's because you're remembering complex after complex. But look, you get it all. You start working it. The best thing, the pedagogical circle goes visual, auditory, kinesthetic. And the kinesthetic part is then go back and teach it. So that becomes part number 4. All progress is made by the taking of careful measurements. So you record it, whether it's on a video or you make, my days it was pencil and notepaper, And so that's another way with which to help crystallize what you've got. And then you teach it. And teaching becomes the 5th element in this circle of learning. And when you teach it to the first guy, you've just learned it yourself. So you have this understanding of it. Jesus, 2 years later, you taught 200 people, your understanding of it's pretty damn good. And on top of that, you've taught it to everybody. You've taught it to the beta, I'm not sure I can do it, to give me some more, and everything in between. And you learn so much more about the drill, and you start to personalize it. It works best for me this way, but these guys are just doing it for the first time. I better just do that, and then this and this and this. And if you continue to work, like I said, instead of going into the dojo going each knee, instead of doing this, you're doing this, and that becomes the fight. And then says, oh yeah, go for it. There's only 5 minutes. Okay, let's do some punches, or let's hit the makiwara, or let's do the chi or something. And that becomes supplementary training, not main training. This is main training. Couple more minutes. Let me see the other escape, going out the front door and swinging around, okay? And then we'll give you the last technique.
Yeah, now you get out of this somehow. Whichever way you want.
We're good? Can we do the last technique? Okay, good. So we are here, and we did this, and we're pressing on the hand from here. So James is going to come around and grab my hand. So the pain is being caused by me pressing here. So James is going to come around and grab my hand. And he's going to use this as a new fulcrum with which to pull his own hand out. There you go. He's got a free hand, and he's going to hit me in the side of the face. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to pull out and do this. See? And then I'm going to impact from here. And then I'm going to change and go here. So all that was this. It was this. Watch. That's what it was. So I'm here. I'm pressing. And as I'm getting down, he grabs the hand. You understand how he makes a fulcrum now? And he pulls his hand out from the hole with that fulcrum. And he's going to come around and hook punch my face, so I've got to get out of the way and trap here as I pull this hand back, unless you let me. If he lets me go, I thank you very much. I don't need to do the drill. Why would I? I'm not in danger anymore. pending the fact that he's using cross-extended reflex, he ain't gonna let me go. He wants to control me. I go, stop, and I bring that, and I pull him in, and I go, slam. There's your knockout blow. Carotid vagus impact. And I slide, and I go, here, choke. And I do the same thing. I pull my hand using, I don't keep my hand out like this to pull it out. I make it into a cone, and I pull it out. And I slam straight in. And how you use a torakuchi, make your hand like that. If this is his throat, you don't go like this. Yeah. That doesn't work. You go like that and seize. And then you pull this way. That's how torakuchi works. I go slam into the larynx. And then I seize the larynx. And I try to dislocate it. If at least the hyoid break or something like that, I bring it this way from here. So we're okay with that? Now just show the finish up. James reaches in and grabs my hand right away like this. Grab my hand. There you go. And instead of trying to, here, grab my throat, Toguchi. Thank you. Oh, payback. Okay, that works. Sorry, James. Instead of, I grab it with tight, I can't pull that off, it's impossible. So what I do is I ride it with my face. I make his hand part of my body now. And I turn my head. That's how I pull my hand up. So that's how I go like this. And then from here I do this. And there's your rotation again. That's the fusion, how it goes together. In the stand-up Renzoku Geiko. 最初からもう一回ベアハグから1、2、3、4、5、6までですけれどもね。So, we are here. Seize. Ha! Pulls. Yeah! Don't let me get there. Grab the hand. Crank it out. Now, open my hands up. How do you do it? No, watch. Oh, that's over the top. Yeah, and just start again. 6 attacks, 6 defenses. No 6 takedowns because we're doing the individual parts. We're doing the collective as a single drill. Okay, let's go. Let's make that work. Over here, right? So it would probably be better for him to do a front roll and kick me on the way up out of there. Yeah. So the idea is about the pain factor. He's resistant. I'm going like this. So in the resistance part is when he grabs me, you see? There you go. And it's just a bicycle grip. That's all it is.
And then he pulls that hand free.
Oh, yeah.
This second hand.
That's it, and bang. And don't let go because you'll bang. Impact. Then the slide. Then the slide.
Okay, I just wasn't sure
Yeah.
how to grab it.
No problem. So, hey, one more rule of thumb is whatever feels natural is usually the right thing, you know. And there's a million slogans that kind of promote that same thing. KISS, Occam's razor, you know. But if you're there, it's funny, my arm's being hurt, I can't get out of it, and I have a free hand, just reach and grab, yeah. And if it doesn't get you out of trouble, it creates a new problem, at least for the other guy. And that has to be negotiated in order for that guy to subjugate you. And that creates that window of opportunity which you want to exploit. That's what that's about. わからないだろう。面白いですけど。Okay, let's go. Come on, let's get this finished. We got 3 more techniques to do other than this. And you're taking home 2 big drills already. So you're taking home from yesterday, you're taking this, remember? Impact, chop, pull, uchi, uke, soto, chop, impact. You punch first, up, rotate around, I punch, rotate around, soto, uke, geran barai, saisho kara mo ikai, renzoku desu kedo mo. What else did we do for the drills? We did, yeah, and we did our warm up, our 2-person stretching drill. Then we did our multiple choky, 8 of them anyway, 9 of them. Actually, 9 and 3 are identical, except one has a takedown. Yeah, so we have a lot of those things, and now we have this drill here. Geidan, Jodan, Age, Geidan, Soto, Uki, so on. So that's a lot of stuff to remember, and we have 3 more drills coming from multiple choky as well. So, like I said, body, no problem. Brain, pasta. Pasta need to do this. Gambaro chibario. Okay, let's go. Let's get that done. And
Like that. Break your arm, in the middle block, and you step up, punch him in the body. Grab my fingers with his hands. Camel and his soto chi. And get on by. Inside, yep. Camel. Guillotine.
check. Okay. Something like that, yeah. May I get in? Take him from here. So I got to here. So he grabs my hand and he bites me and he sticks out and I press and I go here and I impact and I slide him over and I press him like this. He grabs my wrist. He pulls his hand out that way. Come on back in here. I got you. Press, put, there you go. And he comes right. I chop the neck. Let go. I chop the neck. Pull my hand out. I grab him. And then slap that. I haven't done it yet. I'm done it. Wait. I grab your neck. He grabs my hand. He pulls it out. I break it down. I slap. We'll go back around the other way.
Prevention is the best medicine.
Look, I can remember in the my first recollection of seminars was actually in the late 1960s at my judo club with Professor Wally J. And you know, you're a teenager, and some famous assistant Olympic coach is coming to show the seniors what to do, and you're just there to pay money to help them come in, type of thing. So it didn't mean a lot to me. So by the time I started going to seminars in the 70s, I would go to seminars like Nakayama Masatoshi, Nishiyama Hideta, you know, very famous experts. And you would line up in the class, you know, first of all, you got the privilege of going. And you paid $50. In the 70s, that was $200 today, right? For a 45-minute seminar, by the way, you know. And you went up and down that floor for 40 of those minutes doing oizuki, kick, punch, you know, and turn mawate, get them right, and do the same thing back and forth. And at the end, if you were privileged enough, you could get in a group photo of 200 guys with the master who would sit down when he was ready. And that way you were going, yeah, wow, did you see that? And then one guy would go, he actually corrected my hand, you know. And, oh my God, I was punching and he changed my fist like that. I feel it. I'm not gonna wash my arm for a month, you know. And you get so excited about meeting the famous guy, you miss the heavenly glory because you didn't learn anything. But it was an experience that you savor it because it was a famous guy. So by the time the 80s rolled around, you were going, what did I learn? Why do I want to pay another $50 to have a guy move my fist? Hence the joke about moving your fist. So people got it as really heavily orientated cross-training, let's discover more things. And lots of things were discovered. Few, if any, were actually from karate. Most were brought from the outside. And because everybody was jumping on the Bruce Lee bandwagon. You know, throw away what was no good, bring in what is good. Get the best from judo, get the best from wrestling, get the best from boxing. I think that's a great idea. Anything that helps expand the mind, do it. But I also think by looking into the art, you can find where others looked out from the art. And it all had to do with one thing, contextual premise. And you look high and low, and you know, the whole T.S. Eliot thing, you know, you'll never cease from exploration. But interestingly, at the end, you arrive at where you first started, and you kind of know it for the first place, contextual premise. Oh, why didn't I think of that? And interesting, hindsight is better than foresight. So in the end, when some guy said, oh my God, it's just a chocolate, everybody goes, oh, we knew that before you. You know, that's 3 stages of truth, right? Ridicule, oppose, and if we can't defeat you that way, it's, we knew it before you anyway. Now everybody's his brother's doing it. I still believe very deeply karate already has the answers. Just not the modern version, the older version. I don't think for a moment, Joseph Campbell, an American anthropologist, spoke very loudly. Hero with a Thousand Faces was my favorite of all. But that's where a cultural anthropologist who explored the identical principles that happen in other cultures all over the planet, he found similarities, brought them together and said, in principle, it's all the same. It's this pathway of waking up, thinking, I can be better, finding either a mentor or a pathway to journey, overcoming the obstacles that you're going to face on the journey to make you stronger, and finally coming into contact with and being empowered. And then taking it back into the world and helping other people. You find the gift, you give it away. Giving is getting, that's the power. And even if you never do achieve the so-called outcome, you liken it to a pathway. How far down the pathway does it take before it becomes evident the destination's not the goal? It is the journey itself. And that's what brings us all together in pursuit of deepening our experience, the rapture associated that comes with this training, with this fighting art. And I just love it dearly, and I realize though that when you go to the seminar, they're gone for, hey, fuck, I don't even be able to walk for a week, I did 2,000 sit-ups or punches, to the one where my brain doesn't work anymore. I got too much in there. But you think, had a good time, I learned shit. And it opened up new doors for possibilities. And I want to go down, or it was nice, but I'm not going to go down, it's too much for me. I'm just happy with baseball bat in the guy in the face. Whatever works. But this way, and as I've heard so many times in the past, all of a sudden, kata has a brand new meaning to me. And all of a sudden, I like banging, but geez, now kata. And it's like I say, at 25 or 35, world champion, well, hey, yeah. And now he's 45 and 55, 65 and so on. He's not doing that anymore. He's still passionate about the art. And I want to then embrace that fusion of art and science to help create this transformative pathway that makes life enjoyable. It's because there's so much shit out there, right? And so we're coming to the end. I'm going to do 3 techniques, okay? Now the setup, as you know, was like this. So remember, he was the aggressor. He came in with, and I stood back, right? Okay. So, and that's going to stay the same. I'm going to do 2 versions. As he lunges this punch at me, I'm going to go bang, and as I go, I'm going to hit him from here, okay? So, you remember out here, and I said, inside, middle, and drill. Now, what you don't know right now is that if you went to southern China, particularly in Fujian, you could find a style, well, you could find many styles there, but you would find one style in particular, which arguably comes from another style. One's called Long Ying, and that's called dragon boxing. And from dragon boxing, some people believe there was an old master with white eyebrows. And they called his style Bap Mei. Bap Mei, white eyebrow. So we're not sure if it was a style by itself or was it a famous master from dragon boxing. But you see they'll do this. This concept of protecting the center line and blocking and striking simultaneously is a principal feature of Batme. When you look at what we just did here, that's exactly what that is. And there's a variation on the common thing. Grab my hand. Hand? No, my other hand. Okay. That's right. I got a YouTube joke about that. Sorry, Jeff. So anyway, and choke me around the throat. So there's this, and watch what I'm going to do. Watch. So I go for the testicle grab. It allows me to escape out the door here. Keep on to it. I can't muscle it because he's too strong, so I make it in a circle. And I go, kaboom. And then I come back to takedown, okay? And by the way, the takedown, right? And so it's the same technique, but it's featured in two separate things. So all I want you to do for now is just do this. And by the way, it can be this, hey you, hey you, hey you, and hey you. Anything that comes through the box. And it doesn't matter, this hand, same thing. Same thing. And when you look at Naihanchi come across, you see these types of moves, very straightforward stuff, right? Here you've got the hand, I'm spinning out of it, so I go like this. And I won't follow up because we've got enough follow-ups already today, okay? So I want you to do from here standing, he's like this, hand comes in, I check, I bridge, and I impact. And you're going to impact here, you want to hit the floating rib cage. You don't want to hit the latissimus dorsi, and you certainly don't want to hit the pectoralis major. There's nothing there. You don't want to hit the hip. You got to hit in that. You can find it. And so, well, you got this, and then you got all the other follow-ups, okay? Number one. And number two is this one. I grab a guy, put him behind. So he goes to grab me. Oh, I go like this. He spins out. He grabs like this, and kaboom. Okay, so that's pretty easy stuff. That's why I didn't spend a lot of time on it yesterday, because it's very easy to grab, especially with what we already did. The second one comes from, I'll give you 500 yen if you can bear hug me. Do your hands, over the arm. Oh my God, oh my God, he can also get it. So, girl arm. So watch here. So this is about this. This is here, and what you don't see is, you don't see this big stamp on the foot in the book. You don't see it. And you get that stamp on the foot, you bring one hand up and you lunge forward. That's all you do. Oh, goodness, look at that, this hand's free. You crank the puppies. He's going to grab my hand. That's what they do. Grab the hand, or give me your telephone number, one of the two, right? You come out, and we're going to follow it up from there, okay? But that's what multiple shows. You see, Jesse stole all these from me, by the way, you know. You read them, you took that line from Jesse Inkamp. Okay, so bear hug. And right away, and you don't let the bear hug be fully culminated. As soon as you get it, you're like a cat in a bathtub or a fish out of water. You're flapping. You need to stamp down on the metatarsal. The best way to do it is just kick the leg and stamp on the foot. And then lunge forward, just lunge forward. And as you do that, that's when you go back for the grab. And the grab is going to inch into this. And once again, we'll come back there. Boom, there's your takedown again. So 11 and 12 come together as a package that lead to that. Are we good? Let's go try. Hey, all right, so nice. We're finally on time. We're finally on time. Hey, let's line up. So I must say this just as a kind of a protocol for なんていうか挨拶はないfor you go 挨拶は英語でなったです。Greetings. Oh, 日本語喋れる？Oh, thank you. Or, you should have put together. わからないだろうね。Yeah. So, but anyway, look, the thing is, I know this. I've taught a few years ago when COVID started, and we were just kind of sitting at home in our home in Los Angeles. I started thinking, I'm gonna go back. I'm a meticulous record collector, you know, and she calls me a pack rat. That's another story. But well, I believe very deeply that progress is only ever made by the taking of very careful measurements, you know, because you make a baseline. So when you travel forward, you're able to look back and see how far you've come. That's one way this pedagogical circle works, you know. Anyway, I thought, and you know, when I say if I taught a weekend seminar, I would teach a Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. For me, that's 3 separate teaching engagements because always not the same people came to the same seminar. So counting over those from 1993 until 3 years ago, I taught over 1,000 seminars in more than 60 countries. And I went, my God, I know something about this stuff. And I thought, you know, there are some really important things about seminars. One, of course, is learning, having fun, and making sure you get value for your money. But none of them are ever made possible without the help of a lot of people. I could teach a seminar every day, but you need someone to organize it. You need someone to attend it, or you're not going to have too many more. You need to have a lot of things, a lot of pieces of the jigsaw puzzle in place in order for it to work. The only reason that this one came to work was because of James Pankiewicz. And so, first of all, right off the bat, I just want to give it up for James. He's done not just a fabulous job, but I mean, literally, from the day I put my foot on this island of this time back, 2 years ago, he gave up his birthday and got me. It was on his birthday. It was December 17th. Everybody knows this. December 17th, 2 years ago. And from that time forward, we made a great connection. I've been so very grateful for all the work that he's done for me. And you know, he's proof that, you know, you can work with anyone. I'm not an easy guy to work with, let me tell you. I have pretty, you know, there's a few things that are my pet peeves. He knows them very well, and he's very good at keeping them all separate. And it's good because it helps the world go round, you know, type of thing. But I know one thing about the dojo here, you know, just quick, so my group with the Koruchinari, it just means old school karate. And I have an organization which is international, everybody knows about it, okay? It was more for research and better delving into what brings us together type of thing. But my dojos around the world, for our group, we call ourselves Koryukan. Koryukan. Ko is a combination, it's two ideograms together. It's Ju, it's 10, and it's Kuchi, mouth together. And the etymology of that means something that's been handed down for 10 generations, is old. And so ko means old or, you know, longo. And yu, especially with the sansui, you see it's associated with water, means stream. So stream indicates that it flows down from a source. What source? An old source. So it's the Uchinadi, you know, the Okinawa Tei from long ago. And my take on it, it was these types of 2-person drills. Much not as complicated as it. I did that by synthesizing them all together so that after years of practice, you could have this huge long drill, which was never meant to be that way. It's the culmination of all kinds of little tiny drills that you practice for weeks and months and years, all brought together as a living, like a makimono, a living repertoire of all your techniques. Joint lock, pressure point, takedown, strangler, throw, grappling ground, every engagement that you could possibly imagine, systematized. So at the end result, you could pick apart, cherry pick whatever you want, depending on where you're. I'm going to the police department today. Well, they're not going to need this and this and this. They're going to need quick capture control stuff. Good. We'll do this, this, and this. And that was the idea behind it. And I used the ideogram. So you see here, this is also Koryukan here. This just means international martial arts is what this means. You know, international fighting arts, however you want to pronounce bu, right? Or translate bu. And the bottom part is Koryukan. But you see that ko is not the same. That ko, had I actually been thinking, I probably should have used that ko instead, because that one is just so much better. And it means to share, exchange, trade, bring together the sentiment of working with each other together. So the joke I made with my group is I said, oh, a guy's taking me in. He's taken a stray in here in Okinawa. And the funny part about it, his dojo is the same name as ours, Koryukan. It's an international martial arts place of gathering. I didn't tell them what the kanji was. It was by the time they saw the kanji, I said, hey, the kanji's not the same. But actually it is in many ways. It's this idea of bringing people together to share. And that's one thing that this facility is best known for. Ask anybody who's ever been to Okinawa. They're Matsubashi Shorin-ryu. But they're the most out-of-the-box Matsubashi Shorin-ryu I've ever seen in my life. I don't even think you could call them Matsubashi Shorin-ryu, only that was the source from which it came. Motobuchoki, Shimoguro Taro, Kyancho Toku, all these people, down to Nagamine Shoshin and down to Aragaki Sensei and James, of course, you see. So, but if you think of all the things that have been collected, and you look back at the time of, say, Nagamine Shoshin, how many teachers did he have? But today, with, oh no, you have to have one teacher. You can't have 20. So the idea of what this kan inspires is to be able to bring together people, learning, and share it. And that's one thing. Anyway, sorry to go on like that. It's on the record. Thank you. And since I've been here for the 2 years, although this person's been away for one of the 2 years I've been here, Becca Tedder is another person who's just, when I say she's got his back, it's an understatement. All of this best stuff that's been produced here has been by our audio-visual component, Becca, who you wouldn't know was there unless you bumped into her, okay? You're very quiet, but Becca, thanks again for everything. Yeah, and of course, most of all is to the participants. Now, it's nice, I get a chance to meet folks, you know, like Eugene, we met and, man, we just hit it off right away, you know. Same lineage, same genealogy, same drinking problems. Masai met, we've been friends now since he's come to the dojo as well. But Vince, Emerson, Ben, Beth, wherever you are, they're new friends. So, we have an expression that you and all right, wasurenai de, ichariba chode. So we're friends now forever, okay? Dan I've known for 40 years. Something like that, yeah. Vancouver boy. He went and trained with one of my students, Frank Clayton, and then that's and then of course he moved here. He's married to a local, trains at the Maple. We're not allowed to say that out loud, though, right? Yeah, and I have an opportunity to meet a brand new friend today, who's really down from, was it? Oh, Gifu, yeah, Gifu. Best swords, man. Best swords.
Seen him yet.
For me, I'm a sword guy, so I know I spent a lot of. It's a sickness with me. Anyway, swords. I love them. Some of the best swords in Japan are made in Gifu, by the way. Yes, well, used to be called seki, right? Now
No, it's still sticking.
oh, is it still?
No, my girlfriend was there.
Oh, okay. There you go. I don't know. Ah, what? Oh, Sekihara no Seka? Oh, I'm sorry. I should have known that. Yeah. Everybody knows the Battle of Sekihara? Yeah. I know that. More like 1600, wasn't it? 1600. No? I don't know.
I read 1590.
Oh, that must be the real version then. We're talking about the other stuff. Anyway, everybody, I just want to say thank you very much. I'll turn you over to James, okay? Arigatou gozaimasu. James says thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your generosity in teaching, as always, and your patience with everybody. It's challenging to learn from Patrick Sensei, but very, very rewarding. He is, when it comes to instructors, you won't find a more knowledgeable instructor.
And? Modest.
You guys have asked, and I told you face to face. There isn't a more knowledgeable instructor on Okinawa today, wherever they come from. Okay, so that's clear. That's not in question. The fact that you're generous enough to share that with us is deeply appreciated. I hope that you guys take away a lot from the seminar. It's been 4 intensive days of training. And we are sharing all that with you online. This is for you to take away from your study. Little bits and pieces. We probably won't put it all out there for everybody because they should have been here. But little bits and pieces we will share too, because I think we covered a lot of ground, and there's so much in there that we've been packing in for a long time and putting it to use. Thank you for highlighting the scrolls.
I've got to tell him about the scrolls because he might want some too.
Oh, fair enough. I just want to say something about the scroll next to the scroll. The Kokusai Koryu-kan scroll is the name, it's the sub-name of our dojo. The scroll next to it says Kata Jitsu Ryaku, and this is the phrase that comes from Nakasani Koichi Sensei and Nihai Seiki Sensei. But it's really not a widely used kind of phrase in Okinawan karate. Okay, but the significance of Kata Jitsu Ryaku is that it really reminds us of the important component pieces of the study, as we've just been reminded in this seminar. So the kata is the receptacle for tradition. It's what's passed down to us. Kata persists, particularly kata that seems to have an ongoing relevance, for each generation. Each generation tends to reinterpret it, but hopefully, based on Onko Chi Shin, builds on the shoulders of predecessors and refines it and moves it forward. So, for example, we have a living example of that. We've learned Motobu Choki's drills, but that's been built on and enhanced. It's enhanced in our Matsubashiru tradition, and Patrick Sensei has taken the drills to another incredible level as well. So, kata is often the receptacle, but kata standalone is not enough. You have to practice technique. Jitsu means technique, and you have to actually run the technique and work the technique. You have to work that with a partner or with multiple partners. Otherwise, it's not alive, right? It's just an echo of, the original. When we do kata by ourselves, there's sort of an echo of the origin, which is the actual technique being applied with and against other people. So Ryaku is the interesting one. It means abbreviation, a shortening, a quickening. Yeah. So when we are actually doing our technique, and when we're doing, for example, the more free randori that we were doing today, we're getting more to the flavor of what it would actually be like when we actually have to use these techniques. And we very rarely do that, right? Unless we work in law enforcement or something like that. In fact, it's a point of pride with many Okinawan senseis that they've never been in a real fight in their lives, because they've done a good job of avoiding that and living a peaceful life. Well, that is success. But the point is that when you come to use it, it will be fast, it will be chaotic, it will be incredibly stressful. So if you've ever been in these situations, you know that, right? But we need those components. We need the tradition, we need the learning, we need to work the application, and we need to be ready for the actual application of it. So kata, jitsu, ryaku. I like to have that there because it reminds us that whatever component we're doing, it's just one piece of a larger equation, which makes this relevant, particularly in the context when we're talking about self-defense. And that's really our first focus here, is training for self-defense and self-development.
James
Yes,
Sensei,
Sensei.
and I was wondering, if you wanted to get scrolls like that, where would you do that?
Well, we should take a trip to go and see Hokama Sensei. While you're here, yes, we can go and see Hokama Sensei. When you're not here, I will direct you to the Bujin TV online store, where you can very easily order scrolls, and those will be shipped to you. So thank you very much. Yeah. Couple of points of housekeeping. I would like us to clean the dojo before we leave. So we are going to do that traditionally with the soap and water and the cloths, and we're going to clean the dojo. I hope everybody will pitch in and help out with that. And let's go to dinner tonight.